On this episode, what on earth is an orchestra? Hi, I'm Jason Lai, and I'm the conductor of the Project Symphony Orchestra. Now, when you think about your favorite music, what do you think about? Are you thinking Beyoncé or Lady Gaga, those wonderful singing sensations? Or perhaps you like rocking out to Green Day or Bon Jovi? A rock and pop band and an orchestra are actually quite similar. You have the lead vocals, and you have the harmony, and you have the percussion section. An orchestra is made up of different sections. You have the strings, the woodwinds, the brass, and percussion. And these form the main groups, and there are many different instruments within these groups. And on the lead vocals, we have the high-pitched instruments like the violins, the oboes, and clarinets. And you have lots of different instruments that provide the harmony section, the lower sounding instruments like the cellos, the horns, and the violas. And of course, the percussion section made up of instruments like the bass drum, timpani, and cymbals. So as you can see, there are a lot of similarities, but you don't really get someone singing in the front of the orchestra. Well, most of the time. Orchestras usually play in concert halls. So what makes a great hall? This is a great shape for a hall. As you can see, it's kind of a rectangle box with a kind of rounded end stage. And this is really good for sound and projection. Now, when someone says a hall sounds great, what do they actually mean? Well, they mean this. La! Do you hear that really wonderful echo? That's great. Orchestras, when they play on stage, need that kind of acoustic. They want the sound to travel and mix, and so the audience hear it in great clarity. Now, if you look at the walls in concert halls, sometimes they're kind of smooth, made out of wood, out of stone. This happens to be wooden paneling that's kind of ribbed. Now, if you notice, why is that? Why is it ribbed? Well, if you imagine the sound hits the wall, these ridges send the sound in all directions, so the sound is really evenly distributed. And of course, when we look at the seats where the audience sits, this is also important. This will absorb some of the sound, so it stops the hall being too echoey. So all these things I've mentioned make a fantastic hall. An orchestra needs to feel comfortable in that hall to make it sound really good. That's it for this episode. Next, we'll be looking at each section of the orchestra, starting with the strings. I'm Jason Lai. Thanks for listening.